Hello and welcome everyone, this is Cavalier's Historia, and today we'll be continuing on with Call of Duty World at War, Blood and Iron. And, this is the tank mission. Now, we're playing as a T-34-85, I think. I'm not sure it would have a flamethrower. I got that. If you watch Call of Duty 2, I'm not the greatest at vehicle sections, especially tank missions. Like, I always just kind of fail whenever I have to be a tanker. Oh, God. Where is this thing? We got a tank over there. I need to take cover. Sasha's chariot. Where the fuck is this thing? This is part of the reason why, for some reason, whenever I'm playing a tank mission, I just can't see. Like, I just can't see anything. Okay, that's gone. Let's put a round into that guy over there. Okay, I think I've regenerated some health. Let's try getting this stupid... There it is! And I missed. I missed again. Yeah, this is gonna be me sucking at this mission. What? Come on! What? Finally! Oh my god. I have like no health left. Yeah, like I said, I suck at tank missions. Come on. Oh, God. Let's burn that. I just want to point this out. I don't have a machine gun. Now, I am gonna be honest, I don't think this tank would have a flamethrower, but I will look up and see if there's a flamethrower variant of the T-34-85, which I think this tank is. Yeah. From what I could identify of it. Although this is a T... Yeah, it's T-34. I'm like... For some reason it doesn't look like a T-34. I don't know why. Huh. But it's not a KV, so it has to be a T-34. But, yeah. So, I'll look that up, see if there's a flamethrower variant, and if it would have a main cannon, which a lot of times flamethrower tanks wouldn't have. Now... Oh, God. Alright, let's back up. What am I stuck on? Oh. Oh, God. Okay, that's gone. I need to get cover. God. Like I said, I suck at tank missions. And this is even the hard part. But, yeah. So, T-34, most famous tank of World War II for the Russians. Arguably the most famous tank in World War II history, I would wager. Like, I think only Tiger can really, like, rival it in popularity. This guy's smart. But, yeah, it was actually, design-wise, was a really good tank. All of its problems came from production. a lot of people will talk about how the T-34 was a great tank because you could have like a billion of them. But what a lot of people who say that don't realize about something like T-34 is that you don't actually want that many tanks. Like, you want a decent amount of tanks, but you could get away with only a few tanks. Oh, bullshit. Should be able to hit. I'm gonna die. But you don't actually want that many tanks for your force. Because it's not just, like, if you have double the tanks, that's double the fuel, double the ammunition, double the crew, double the maintenance hours, and the small parts, and all of that. So having a lot of tanks actually is kind of a detriment most of the time. Oh, bullshit! Come on, hit! Oh my fucking god, thank you. I guess I was just out of range, and for some reason... Yeah, that's what it was, I was out of range, and they're like, oh, well, you're out of range, so you shouldn't be able to hit it. You're close enough. Oh god. Finally. Let's make sure that's down. God. Oh, he's not shooting. Okay, he's not shooting anymore. But yeah, T-34 was made with the priority of having a lot of tanks on field and basically kind of just overwhelming the Germans. And what that actually ended up creating was a whole bunch of T-34s that frankly never should have been put out into service because they had a huge amount of mechanical problems. So they were constantly breaking down. And also, this tank was not particularly good with the production because, like, for example, the driver basically had to use a hammer to get the gear shifted. Oh. Really? Finally. Yeah, T-34 is not that short-ranged. This is a cannon. Also, my loader is... He is working. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't think you would be able to load that as quickly as being showed. Okay, that's down. Yeah, it's like, we basically have like an autoloader. Although admittedly, it wouldn't have been that slow of a process. Now, the situation I'm in right now is like a tanker's worst nightmare. Like, generally speaking, if a tanker gets this close to enemy infantry, that tank usually is fucked. Because you do not ever want to be this close to enemy infantry because they can easily swarm my tank, you know, open one of the hatches and then just hit you. Well, not necessarily hit you, but like drop a whole bunch of grenades into your hatches, and that will be pretty much death for your unit. And, well, not your unit, but your tank. But these Germans, they're not doing a very good job at actually taking out this tank, because you should be swarming it. Hitting you with grenades, yeah, but you're gonna want to hit it with something else. Oh no, there's an invisible wall there. Because of course there is. Oh, hang on. me park up. Alright, that's done. Who else is here? Who else is ready to die? But no, this is actually the main reason why you want infantry. To protect your tank from enemy infantry, as well as to clear out like the section of bunkers and trench lines. Oh, do I have to show that? Yeah, that's what was happening. I mean, I destroyed the tower, so it should be fine. Also, being alone like this in T-34, you do not want to be here in this situation. There's a German tank, which, I'm gonna be honest, did a really bad job. You know, that one especially as well. Like, the position right next to yours just got overrun. Okay, why aren't you, like, putting yourself into a good firing position to be able to, you know, take out this tank? Also, the Magical Panther turret. That was an actual thing. They developed it to counter the M4 Sherman, to give it a little bit more height. So then that way they could, you know, see over cover better. Unfortunately, they couldn't get them in big enough numbers. They also tend to disappear. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is why I hate this mission so much. So many Panzerfaust. And you have to be a certain distance away in order to actually, you know, destroy that bunker, which luckily I was. So that's kind of annoying. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is any fault of this game in particular with the tank missions. I just think tank missions in shooter games as a whole is just... it's a bad idea in my opinion. Because, like, you're an infantryman. Why are you driving a tank? Well, to be fair, if you're gonna do it, Russia's the way to go about it, because, if a tank crew lost one of its members, it could legitimately go up to an infantry unit and just say, hey, you're a tanker now, and have him jump in the tank and just start fulfilling a role in the tank. But what always strikes me as odd is the fact that you just go straight back to being a normal infantryman, which doesn't make sense. Alright, let's roll in. And we got one more section, I think. Okay. God. Come on. But, yeah. T-34... I'm going to continue on my thought from before. T-34 was even a great design, I would say. It wasn't perfect, it had a few problems, but, you know, every tank has problems. Even the M4 Sherman, even my beloved M4 Sherman has problems. But, how are you not dead? What? Okay. But, yeah, T-34 was more just held back by bad production practices. Because having more tanks isn't better if those tanks sucked. And their whole job was to just produce tanks, get them out, so they were oftentimes sent before they were ready, and they got destroyed at high numbers, which caused Stalin to order more T-34s, which just continued that cycle. Had really nothing to do with the design. It's just the fact that... How is this fucker still alive? Yeah, it's just the fact that the T-34s frequently were pushed out before they were really ready, production-wise. Like, they were ready before the war, and the T-34s that were actually made properly worked really well, because again, this is a good tank. But it's one of those situations where they just were like, we need more tanks, so they kept pushing more tanks out, which just created a cycle of just more tanks, more tanks, more tanks, more tanks. And it didn't create, you know, good tanks. Because you can have a great design, but if it's not produced properly, it's just not going to be good. Now, as for the exact production problems, some tanks were pushed out before they had proper optics, which is not good. Some tankaboos, the Wehrmacht version, well, not the Wehrmacht, the Red Army version of the Wehraboo, they will scream over and over again about how that's not true, that they had good lenses, and they did have decent lenses, but they oftentimes were put into tanks. Also, they mistreated their the actual armor, so the armor was actually weaker than it would be for, say, like US or German tanks. Again, it's not necessarily because the T-34 itself was a bad tank. It's just the Russians just kept pushing them out at such high numbers that you couldn't have a quality to them. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, quantity has a quality of its own. Yes, but you need quality. It doesn't matter if you shove out 200 bad tanks, if those 200 bad tanks get destroyed, when you could have just spent your time making like 100 good to great tanks that can actually stay in the fight way longer. Honestly, this is kind of a weird cutscene, because it's very sudden. Like, that transition is how it goes. And I have literally no control over anything in this cutscene. I can't even move my head. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that mission as a whole. But yeah, with that, we will go ahead and save the next mission for next time, Ring of Steel. Which in my opinion is the exact opposite of Blood and Iron. I don't like Blood and Iron. I love Ring of Steel. But if you want to know more about the exact problems with the T-34, Laserpig has a good video on it, just kind of detailing how it works, how it didn't perform as well as it really should have, because it's a great design of a tank. But anyway, with that, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed, and have a wonderful day.